एक मिनट।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम। Hello. 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 ये मैंने ज्वाइन कर लिया।
हेलो।
जी आ रही है आवाज़।
Assalamu alaikum. So sorry for a little more delay. So we'll be starting like in 5 minutes. So for the students who do not have the seating capacity here, so they can go to the hall 132. So The event will be live streamed there, so you can just join the event there. Thank you. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I thank you everyone for joining us today for the second international conference on soil, plant, and environmental health under changing climate, which is jointly organized by Department of Soil and Environmental Sciences and Department of Climate Change, MNS University of Agriculture, Multan. So, first of all, I would like to request Hafiz Muhammad Akil for Tilawat Kalam Pak.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah. So, I would like to invite Rao Hafiz Muhammad Farhan for Naat Rasul Makbul, please.
नेमतें बांटता जिस संत वो ज़ीशान गया। नेमतें बांटता जिस संत वो ज़ीशान गया। साथ ही मुंशिए रहमत का कलम दान गया। नेमतें बांटता आज ले उनकी पना आज मदद मांग उनसे आज ले उनकी पना आज मदद मांग उनसे फिर न मानेंगे कयामत में अगर मान गया। फिर न मानेंगे कयामत में अगर मान गया। नेमतें बांटता जिस संत वो ज़ीशान गया। नेमतें बांटता
Thank you. So now I would request all you to please rise for the national anthem of Pakistan. Thank you. So, तेरी हिफाजत का अज़्म लेकर तेरी हिफाजत का अज़्म लेकर हर एक अपने महाज पर है वतन की मिट्टी गवाह रहना वतन की मिट्टी गवाह रहना. So thank you everyone for joining us today. If we just discuss about like Pakistan's soil, plant and environmental health, it's on the verge of extinction. I really believe that because in a recent report, Pakistan was listed as the second most polluted country in the world, falling after Dhaka of Bangladesh. And in these circumstances, such conferences, such initiatives, they are need of the hour in which we discuss the solutions, and we will definitely formulate the recommendations from this conference. And we need to strive, we will work towards addressing all these issues one by one. So there is a long list of dignitaries from international and national departments. So first of all, we have Mr. Saqib Ali Atil with us, who is a Chief Secretary, Agriculture, South Punjab. Then we have our international guests from University of Science and Technology, China. We are really thankful to them. Then, of course, we have multiple dignitaries from WWF. We have people from Fatma Fertilizers, Innovative, and Zoom, Urban Care. Then we have people from WWF, NICE International, and similar is the case for like we have Chief Executive Punjab Agriculture Research Board with us, and of course other government departments in the vicinity, Mango Research Institute, Pesticide Quality Control Laboratory, Soil and Water Testing Laboratory, and of course CCRI. And similar is the case like from our institution, we have deans, directors, chairpersons from different departments of the institute. And except for that, we are really blessed to have teachers of our teachers, as we call them, people coming from our alma mater, University of Agriculture, Faisalabad. So we are very thankful to each one of you in sparing your time for joining this very noble cause, which I really believe is one of the major problems among many of the issues, many of the health issues, many of our societal or economic issues as we face in Pakistan today. So to formally welcome all of the guests, I would request Professor Dr. Ishtiaq Ahmed Rajwana, Vice Chancellor, MNS University of Agriculture, Multan, for welcome address.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Honorable Janab Saqib Ali Atil Saab, Secretary Agriculture, South Punjab, Professor Gujran Liu and his team from China, Dr. Zahir Ahmed Zahir Saab, Abul Asatza, mashallah, nice to see you. Dr. Muhammad Akram Qazi, CEO PAV, Dr. Ghulam Murtaza Saab, Director, Institute of Soil and Environmental Sciences, UAF, and Mr. Henrik from Germany, Dr. Bilal from Poland, my ex-colleagues, my very best friends from BZU. I can see so many of them. I have been informed that there are delegations from Women's University, Multan, and also a delegation from Karachi University. And I can see National Technology Council representatives, water management representative, and so many other dignitaries from academia and the allied industries of agriculture. Thanks a lot for being with us for this mega event organized by the Department of Soil Science, Dr. Tanveer, Dr. Arif, and their team. This university was established in 2012 in a small setup in BZU. Now it's 2024. At that time, the first cohort taken was of about 90 students. And Dr. Arif is there, Dr. Abdul Rahim is there, Dr. Abdul Hai is there. They, under the leadership of Dr. Abid Kharal, were co-hosting those first cohort. And now they can see where we are at the moment. It's a long debate. Sometimes people say that why agriculture college or agriculture faculty BZU is existing. Why not they should merge with the BZU, with the Mansua and all that. लेकिन मैं ये समझता हूँ कि इन्होंने भी अपनी बहुत अच्छी मेहनत की है एज ए फैकल्टी ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर हमने भी अपनी बहुत अच्छी मेहनत की है उस हम्बल बिगिनिंग से इस वक्त हम अबाउट 66,000 प्लस स्टूडेंट्स पे जा चुके हैं एट दैट टाइम इनिशियली हमने कोई 3 मेजर स्टार्ट किए थे इस वक्त हमारे पास अबाउट डिफरेंट 32 अंडर ग्रेजुएट्स प्रोग्राम्स हैं and about of more than 32 postgraduate programs are starting from PhD, MS and BS. और जो हमारा इस वक्त बजट लेआउट है तकरीबन जो हमारे ओन सोर्सेज और ग्रांट्स बाय प्रोविंशियल एंड फेडरल गवर्नमेंट दैट इज अबाउट 1 बिलियन एंड दिस मच इज कंट्रीब्यूटेड बाय आवर रिसर्च फंडिंग बाय द फैकल्टी मेंबर्स from national and international sources, which is something really appreciable. We must appreciate the efforts made by the earlier Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Asif Ali, in developing this university, in grooming this faculty, and giving me such a wonderful system to take it up for the remaining time I have in this office. I must congratulate Dr. Tanveer, Dean Dr. Shafkat, and all other colleagues together with Dr. Arif for organizing such a wonderful day. And we are having 3 keynote speakers today. And while we were planning for the conference, we had a lot of discussion who should be the chief guest. And finally, we concluded with Dr. Saqib Ali Atil, because I call him doctor. He is from bureaucracy. He is from agricultural sciences as well. And right today, while we were discussing about wheat, he had some ideas about wheat cultivation and wheat production, जो मेरे लिए भी novel थे. So I think during his tenure in the Secretary Agriculture, he has done his PhD. So I must thank the availability of Wala Saab from FFC. Thank you very much, sir. And from here onward, I hope we will be blessed with 3 technical sessions. And then we will request Saqib Ali Atil Saab to conclude this ceremony, and then we will go for formal sessions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So definitely, I may not cover all of the names whose effort, whose time, or whose energy has been put forward into this, utilizing all of those opportunities and bringing all you people together. So to further acknowledge and give the objectives of this conference and an overview, I would request Professor Dr. Tanveer Haq, Chairperson, Department of Soil and Environmental Sciences and Department of Climate Change, for his talk, please.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Our chief guest of the conference, doctor, just came to know, Saqib Ali Atil, Secretary Agriculture, South Punjab. The Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Ishtaq Ahmed Rijwana Saab. Our distinguished guest, Professor Dr. Gujan Lu and his team from the University of Science and Technology, China. Dr. Bilal Yusuf, who is a professor at Silesian University of Technology, Poland. Dr. Henrik Alf, University for Sustainable Development, Germany. Honorable Dr. Akram Kazi Saab, CEO, PAP. Then we have Dr. Shahid Irfan, who is CEO of Sugarcane Research and Development Board, Punjab. My mentors and teachers from the University of Agriculture, Faisalabad. You are always dear and near to us, sir. Thank you very much for coming over. And similarly, honorable farmers, guests from industry and various organizations within Multan and around the country, colleagues and students from University of Karachi, Bahauddin Zakaria University, Multan, Quaid-e-Azam University, Islamabad, ComSets University, Vihari, and many other universities. My dear participants and students, Assalamu alaikum. On behalf of the campus community and especially the Department of Soil and Environmental Sciences and Department of Climate Change, I would like to welcome you in this second international conference on soil, plant, and environmental health and the changing climate. Just to let you know that this is the international conference of our second international conference of our conference series. I won't go into details because most of you already know that Pakistan is one of the countries most affected by the impacts of climate change. And it is also estimated that by 2040, the agriculture productivity will be decreased by 8 to 10% in Pakistan due to climate change. And the floods, droughts, and heat waves are not just challenges for future, but have become realities of the present time. We have seen floods in 2022, and we have seen heat waves in 2023. The consequences of these climate shifts on agriculture are manifold. Like water scarcity poses a serious threat to agriculture in Pakistan, with glaciers melting at an alarming rate, and due to unpredictable rainfall patterns, the availability of water for agriculture is decreasing. This reduces crop yield, leading to food insecurity and economic instability. Similarly, extreme weather events from last many years have become more frequent and severe. These events not only damage crops, but also disrupt entire farming communities, increasing poverty and inequality. The soil salinity and soil degradation are seriously affecting agricultural lands and making them barren and unproductive. This is not only reducing the cultivated land, but also contributes to environmental degradation and loss of biodiversity. And the second international conference on soil, plant, and environmental health provides a platform to discuss the key issues facing agriculture and the environment. The conference will explore into critical topics such as sustainable development goals, environmental management, technological innovations, and national food security. I do believe that from the keynote talks which are going to be held today, oral poster presentations and discussion, the conference participants will engage in fruitful dialogue to advance their knowledge and promote collaborations. China is our strategic partner, and we are already in collaboration with many Chinese scientists at many fronts. This is the second time that Professor Gujal Lu is visiting us, and we are looking forward to work with Professor Gujal Lu on some productive projects of mutual interest. And I'm also delighted to share that we have received an overwhelming response for this conference. And according to the data, the number of total registrations to this conference are 185. And the number of abstracts selected for publication are 163. There are 6 keynote talks and 79 total oral presentations. We have 80 posters for the display and 20 institutions they are participating in this conference. And similarly, we have 11 international guests in this conference. There are also talks from the representative of WWF and FAO in the coming session. Therefore, the main aim of this conference is to bring together experts, researchers, policymakers, and other stakeholders from China, Poland, Germany, and Pakistan to deliberate on the key challenges facing by agriculture and environmental sector in the wake of climate change, and to come up with some adoptable solutions. To provide opportunity for the conference participants and students to exchange ideas and to network with fellow scientists for the advancement of agriculture and environment. It is really a matter of great pleasure and honor to have you in this conference for learning and sharing of your experiences. My special thanks are also to our sponsors of the today's conference. Without their support, it would have not been possible to materialize this event. I'm also highly thankful and grateful to the Vice Chancellor, MNS University of Agriculture, Multan, for all the encouragement and support to conduct this event. I'm also thankful to my team members who pledged a lot of their time for last many days in planning and designing of this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Tanvirul Haq. So without further delay, I would like to request Dr. Muhammad Akram Qazi, who is Chief Executive, Punjab Agriculture Research Board, and also Chief Scientist, Soil Fertility Research Institute, to for his keynote talk, Soil Quality in Punjab Province.
औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम माशाअल्लाह ला कुव्वता इल्ला बिल्लाह अना अब्दुन मुज़निबुन ज़लीलुन व अंता रब्बी ज़ुल जलाल वल इकराम. I express my deepest gratitude to Mr. Dr. Saqib Ali Atil, Secretary Agriculture, South Punjab, Dr. Ishtiaq M. Rajwana, Vice Chancellor, MS University, for innovative research, leadership, driving progress in academia and research. I also recognize Dr. Lu and his team from China for his significant contributions to environmental science, enriching our discussions with global insights. Additionally, I appreciate Dr. Shafqat Saeed, Dean, and Professor Dr. Tanvirul Haq, Chairman of Department of Soil and Environmental Science, our distinguished guests, esteemed participants, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I invite us all to embrace the challenges of our era with resilience, innovation, and unwavering commitment to science-based solutions. Today, I will discuss soil quality in Punjab province, Pakistan. Soil quality is a major constraint to agricultural productivity in Punjab. Factors contributing to soil degradation include nutrient depletion, soil erosion, salinity, sodicity, and waterlogging. The degradation threatens farmer livelihoods and food security. Sustainable agriculture practices, soil conservation measures, and effective land management strategies are needed to address the soil quality issues. Investing in soil health and promoting soil fertility and resilience can mitigate soil degradation effects and ensure long-term agriculture viability. Enriching soil quality is a crucial for food security, environmental sustainability, and economic prosperity. Unveiling a landmark. About 2.6 million soil samples revolutionized agriculture insights. For the first time in history, a groundbreaking data set comprising approximately 2.6 million soil samples encompassing both macro and micronutrients analysis is being unveiled in this conference. These samples were collected from a grid spacing 10 into 10 acres, systematically covering the entire Punjab. The comprehensive data set promises to serve as an invaluable resource for researchers, offering unprecedented insights to soil health and soil fertility dynamics. Moreover, the availability of such detailed soil sample analysis will prove instrumental for planners, policymakers tasked with charting the course for sustainable development. Armed with this knowledge, planners can devise informed strategies to mitigate soil-related challenges and pave the way for enhanced agriculture productivity and environmental sustainability. Furthermore, stakeholders in agriculture, including fertilizer manufacturers, importers, distributors, stand to benefit significantly from this data set. By aligning these business strategies with the specific nutrient deficiencies identified in different regions, stakeholders can tailor their offering to better meet the needs of local farmers. This strategic alignment not only fosters the economic growth within the agriculture sector, but also contributes to the overarching goal of optimizing resource utilization and promoting environmental stewardship. This is the Multan division data categorized by percentage. This report represents the finding from comprehensive soil analysis conducted across the Multan division. The analysis compasses a range of parameters crucial for soil health, including organic matter, electrical conductivity, pH, phosphorus, and potassium. The table provided details the number of samples analyzed and their corresponding categorization based on adequacy of such parameter. Categories such as adequate, medium, and poor are utilized to denote the suitability of soil conditions with specific ranges defining each category. Key observation from the analysis inside: significantly trends in soil health across different districts within the Multan division. For instance, a notable 63.3, 26% in Lodra, 39% in Multan, and 55% soils become sodic in nature, and including a substantial impact on soil productivity. Only a margin of 0.05% in Khanewal, 21.6% in Lodra, 3.5% in Multan, and only 0.1% in Vihari are adequate in organic matter contents, suggesting a widespread deficiency of this crucial component. Furthermore, the analysis of soil only 0.02%, 0.119%, 0.02% in Khanewal, and 0.62% in Lodra 8.59% in Multan, and 0.08% in is only only adequate in phosphorus contents. And regarding potash, only 0.2% in Khanewal, 21.28% in Lodra, and 21% in Multan, and 2.63% in Vihari are adequate in potash. These findings underscore the importance of targeted interventions to address soil health issues and optimize agriculture practices across Multan division, thereby enhancing overall productivity and sustainability in the region. This is the micronutrient analysis in Multan division. Zinc is deficient and poor 23% in Khanewal, 26% in Lodra, 27% in Multan, and 24% in Vihari are deficient or poor in zinc contents. Copper is okay, iron is okay, manganese is 10.56% samples are deficient in Khanewal, 13% deficient in Lodra, 12% in Multan, and also 12% in Vihari deficient in manganese. Boron is also okay in this division. This is Bahawalpur division. Soil sodic 13% in Bahawal Nagar, 15% in Bahawalpur, and 25% in Rahim Yar Khan. Soils are become at the current stage are sodic in nature. Organic matter status 95% soils, 96% soils are poor in Bahawal Nagar, 87% poor in Bahawalpur. And 94% poor in Rahim Yar Khan. Similarly, phosphorus status only 0.1% in Bahawal Nagar, 1.03% in Bahawalpur, and 3.2% in Rahim Yar Khan. Is adequate in phosphorus contents. And similarly, only 0.4% in Bahawal Nagar, 14% in Bahawalpur, and 33% in Rahim Yar Khan is adequate regarding potash contents in soils. Regarding micronutrients, zinc is deficient in 12% in DG Khan, 18.6% Laya, 9% in Muzaffargarh. Sorry. Regarding micronutrient status in Bahawalpur division, only iron and boron are found poor in nature. Iron 26% in Bahawal Nagar, 24% in Bahawalpur, and 14% in Rahim Yar Khan. Similarly, boron is deficient in 10% in Bahawal Nagar, 7.6% in Bahawalpur, and 3.5% in Rahim Yar Khan are deficient in boron. Two limiting factors, zinc and boron is appearing limiting factor in these districts of Bahawalpur division. Next, DG Khan, there is again organic matter is very poor, phosphorus contents is very poor, and potash is only adequate in 13.1% DG Khan, 8% in Laya, 17% in Muzaffargarh, and 43% in Rajanpur. This is the macronutrient status in DG Khan division. Zinc is poor, copper is okay, iron is poor in many percentages of samples. Similarly, manganese, boron is okay. Next, Saiwal division, soils are becoming sodic. 18.5% soils in Okada, 15% in Pakpatan, and 14% Saiwals are become sodic in nature. Organic matter contents are also very poor. Similarly, phosphorus is very less samples indicate the adequacy level of phosphorus, and similarly, potash is deficient in only 3% adequate in Pakpatan. Next, this is the macronutrient status in Saiwal division. Next, this is the Faisalabad division. This is macronutrient status in Faisalabad division. This is Lahore division. This is macronutrient status in Lahore division. This is Gujranwala division. This is macronutrient status. This is Sargodha division. And this is macronutrient status in Sargodha division. Rawalpindi division. Macronutrient status. Next, divisional based data. This is all 9 divisions. And regarding these divisions, we find Multan, Bahawalpur, DG Khan, Lahore, Faisalabad, Saiwal, Gujranwala, Rawalpindi, Sargodha. Overall, soils are becoming sodic. In Multan division, 46% overall become sodic. Similarly, 6.3% only soils are adequate in organic matter status, only 2% in phosphorus, and only 11% in potash. Next is this micronutrient status, and all divisional data indicates the deficiency of zinc, iron, manganese, and boron. This is alarming situation. We should need to address these deficiencies of these macro and micronutrients. टाइम लिमिट बहुत कम था, इसलिए थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you, Dr. Akram Kazi. So, due to shortage of time, we will revise the schedule a little bit, and I would like to request Secretary Agriculture, South Punjab, Dr. Saqib Ali Atil, for his general remarks.
ठीक है. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Vice Chancellor, distinguished international and national scientists, researchers, academia, representative from government, chief scientist, soil fertility lab, staff members, farmers, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is a pleasure for me to extend warm welcome to all distinguished climate change experts on behalf of the provincial government. All experts from China, Germany, and all over Pakistan are welcomed here to participate in second international conference on soil, plant, and environmental health under changing climate. As we know, climate change is a reality. Though I have written some kind of address for formal address. But after listening Qazi Sahab and Tanveer Sahab, Dr. Tanveer, my mind was thinking on some other lines. I was thinking about the topic of today's conference, that is soil, plant and environmental health. It is very good. Under change in climate, I was thinking whether climate change is issue of today or humanity has been facing it always. When we look at cosmos, we find ourselves in tail of this Milky Galaxy. This is always moving to somewhere, and we now after James Webb we find lot of galaxies, bigger galaxies. So our solar system is always moving, our galaxy is always moving. So we cannot imagine any moment since existence that there was no climate change. I was also thinking, what have we done during the last couple of years, a few years, in this reference? What do I feel? We have taken actions, we have done things which has speed up climate change. Otherwise, it is natural, always natural, to find that climate is changing. While looking at data that Dr. Akram Gaisa was offering, it was very interesting. We welcome Vice Chancellor Mercer University as well. Dr. Ramzan Saab, he is also a very learned person, and I hope his visit here and also visit of this university can help both university to contribute with each other. Thank you. So I was thinking while looking at the data of soils in Punjab, that data shows we have such and such level of potash and phosphorus. Earlier I have once discussed with Dr. Saab that we should also include one column that shows that how much phosphorus and potash that is fixed but not available to plants. But what I have learned from as a student from the experts, that our soils have phosphorus and potash in fixed form as well. And organic matter, when I was looking at the adequate column, it was telling that more than 1.29% is considered adequate. But I think I doubt it. It cannot be adequate when we look at international standards of organic matter in the soil. But we don't have any data about the microbes. What is the count of microbes in our soil? I think that's how we should also include one column for that, because it will help our researchers, our scientists to look in details, whereas the people say the devil in details. And I was also looking at data that soil pH level. The data was showing that less than 8.5 is adequate. But the other samples show much more problem in the pH level. So I don't think our soils have sufficient, our soils have the quantity that can we say adequate. That is the worst, I think. We should also work, our researchers should think about that and work on that. How can we help our soil, our plants, our environment? All factors in this data show that all factors are poor. Our soil is poor. We are producing the plants that is not up to the mark, and we are destroying the environment. How can we manage these three factors under the climate changes? These were just thought coming to my mind while I was thinking, so I thought that I should say a few words about that. We know the climate change has no boundaries and no religion. We all live like in some big boat, the whole world, we all countries. It does not matter whether it is Pakistan, is China, Germany, wherever we live. It can happen that some areas may suffer from the worst bad effects of climate change more badly than other areas, but ultimately everyone will have to suffer. Frankly speaking, Pakistan is not among those countries who contributed heavily in destroying our environment, destroying our ecosystem. Industrial revolution did not start from this country. In that way, we are sufferers for the development of many countries. Still, but what we are contributing is going to affect not only us, our lives, next generations, but also other countries as well. As we saying that we are living in a boat. All countries are like small homes in a, we can imagine as homes in a boat. If one home will disturb, other homes will also disturb. It may take some time, but it will happen ultimately. So it is not national threat, it is global threats, and we see everywhere. Even last year we saw heat waves in winter days in many countries. Even in Pakistan, every year there is different kind of climate changes. For last 3 years, I am observing that sometimes it is heat wave in winter, sometimes it is cold wave in hot days. Last year in June, July, there was very cold wave. And this year, last year, there were rains during at the end of the March, about 23rd March. And this year, we have rains in February 14, 15. Even nowadays, there are rainy predictions are here. So, as a Secretary of Agriculture, I must tell you that we are fully convinced that stability of agriculture can provide massive boost to economic and social growth of the country. But we are also convinced that without maintaining a proper ecosystem, the development in agriculture is far from dreams even, because if we continue to destroy our ecosystem, ultimately, and our maximum focus on using chemistry or chemicals on like pesticide, fertilizer on soil, that are going to destroy our future. Because these things are contributing. We are polluting our water. We are polluting our environment. We are polluting our diet as well. What we are eating, that is not pure. So while talking about soil health, while plant health, environment health, we should also consider these factors. And as per, no doubt, government of Punjab is also aware of that. And a couple of days earlier, we had meeting, we are building a 10 years plan. And Dr. Kaisab is also part of that group. And even VC Saab from Mansua is also part of that group. And we were working, even Rajwana Saab was part of our particular group as well, because we were working on some kind of the food chain, that is fruits and vegetables, how to develop that. Earlier, we are working on the projects like Punjab Resilient and Inclusive Agriculture Transformation. We're also working on a project, national program for enhancing profitability through increasing productivity of wheat, rice, and sugarcane. We're also working on promoting research for productivity enhancement in pulses, National Oilseed Enhancement Program, revised crop production techniques, testing of soil, water, and fertilizer samples, value addition to crops, and like a lot of other projects. So that in detail, I'll not waste your time further because I know there are a lot of experts, there are few experts whom you want to listen and want to learn from them. And by sharing the knowledge, we can do a lot. The climate change policy and action plan for Punjab has already been devised, which include introduction to climate change impacts, climate change adaptation strategies, climate change mitigation strategies, and supporting policy practices as awareness, education, and finance capacities. It is very important to acknowledge efforts and dedication of MNS University of Agriculture Multan for setting a forum of discussion with national and international climate change experts at right time. I am convinced that this gathering is a big opportunity for all stakeholders to share their experiences for fixing the emerging challenges of global climate changes and its effects on sustainability of agriculture system. It is right time to develop knowledge-based response to climate change, environment, and broader sustainability challenges. Let us enhance competitiveness to meet the challenges of crop production through using the climate smart agriculture technologies. The national and international scientists need to work together to create a coherent and ambitious vision reflecting the best Pakistan agriculture cooperation with other countries. Dear audience, at the end, I commend the efforts of Professor Dr. Ishtiaq Ahmad Rijwana, Vice Chancellor, MS University of Agriculture, Multan, and his team taking lead to set this platform of discussion for finding solutions of problems associated to climate change. I also congratulate all the participants from research, academia, agriculture industries, government side, farmers, social workers to honor this event for a big cause. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Saqib Ali Atil, Secretary Agriculture, South Punjab. So definitely, as he just mentioned, like the resources are more of global importance rather than they are national, they are individual. So the global resources, their depletion, it is just like riding a boat, as he mentioned, and the boat will float only if we take care of the boat, not only if we take care of our like on side or something like that. So as the Secretary Agriculture has a shortage of time, so I would request the hosts, Professor Dr. Ishtiaq Ahmed Rajwana and Professor Dr. Shafqat Saeed, Professor Dr. Asif Raza, and Professor Dr. Tanveer Haq to present him a souvenir. And after the souvenir, we will continue with our keynote talks. May I request Mr. Saqib Ali Atil, Secretary Agriculture, South Punjab, to receive his souvenir from Professor Dr. Ishtiaq Ahmed Rajwana and other hosts of this institution. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. So we will move to our next keynote speaker, Dr. Rujia Lu from University of Science and Technology, China. She will be presenting about process chemistry, mechanisms, and environmental benefits of pyrolysis of water-based biomass.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ruijia Liu from University of Science and Technology of China. It's a great honor for me to be here. And today I would like to talk some of my work on, pyrolysis mechanisms and kinetics for the functional groups in biomass matrix. Firstly, I will give this talk in the following 4 parts. And to begin with, I would like to talk why I focus on biomass. With the rapid development of it has caused the energy crunch and also the environmental pollution and the global warming. It means that we are now in urgent demand for the renewable energy sources, including biomass, hydropower, and so on. And among these, biomass is widely distributed and not restricted by the nature conditions and stable in yields and prices, and is the only renewable carbon sources. And abundant biomass energy on Earth has a greater perspective. Now, we have developed a series of biomass conversion techniques, including the physical, thermochemical, and biochemical methods. As the physical methods is of low energy conversion efficiency, and combustion is not adequate for the conversion and can cause pollution. Gasification is of high energy input and can only produce gas. And hydrolysis always needs high pressure and also the catalyst. Also for the biochemical methods, it usually needs long time and is limited in biomass input types. But for the pyrolysis, it is flexible in time and also the raw materials. It's beneficial for the adequate conversion of multi-products. So what is the biomass pyrolysis? The biomass feedstock includes woody, agricultural, aqueous biomass, ammonia, and sewage sludge. And also the lignin biomass usually consists of cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin. And those biomass were put into the reactor at 300 to 700 degrees Celsius without oxygen or limited oxygen. And during the process, we can get the bio oil, gas, and also the biochar. From the inner process, we can see from that dehydration usually occurs at 200 degrees centigrade. And also at between 200 to 500 degrees centigrade, the primary pyrolysis with fragmentation and shrinking occur to produce the bio oil and also gas. Secondly, the charring of oil can produce the primary biochar. With the temperature increase to higher than 500 degrees centigrade, the secondary cracking of the oil with the char devolatilization can produce the final char, gas, and also the oil. With the production of all those pyrolytic products, pyrolysis is significant for the waste mitigation, and biochar can be used for carbon sequestration, soil enrichment, environmental remediation, and also all the products can be used as renewable clean energy. But the characteristics of the products and also the resulting environmental beneficial can be influenced by the feedstock types, pretreatment, pyrolysis operations, and also the operating conditions. So upon this, it's very crucial to investigate on the pyrolysis chemistry and also the influencing mechanisms. And in this field, it's very important for the process regulation for pyrolysis process with the efficient utilization of biomass energy to achieve the scale up with targeted products. Currently, many scholars have made great progress in this field, but little research is done on the real-time pyrolysis chemistry of the real biomass, and most studies are ex situ pyrolysis. So to investigate the pyrolysis behaviors and the mechanisms at the molecular level and with the thermokinetics analysis of the functional groups, we have to conduct related research to optimize the pyrolysis parameter and for the final construction of the pyrolysis models. To conduct the research, we have collected peanut shell as the feedstock, and after pretreatment, the samples were directly used for the in situ pyrolysis. And the in situ pyrolysis mainly includes two parts: the TG-FTIR mask for the online monitoring of the pyrolytic volatiles, and the in situ FTIR for the real-time evolution of the solid matrix. Specifically for the in situ FTIR experiment, according to the TG-DTG curves, we select 31 sampling points at different temperature for the FTIR. And eventually we get 31 FTIR spectrum. Afterwards, each of the FTIR spectrum was deconvoluted and first divided into 4 sections, and using the PICFIT software for the deconvolution with the identification of the hidden functional groups. We also obtained the peak area data for further analysis. Now we go deep in the results. From the 3D TG-FTIR and cumulative curves of the volatiles, we can see from the figure that all the volatiles reach the maximum at around 410 degrees centigrade. And as referring to the Beer-Lambert law, the absorption intensities of the volatiles can indicate the relative concentration. So from the TG-FTIR profiles, we can conclude that the volatiles and functional groups are in the concentration decreasing sequence of this. Further combined with the mass detection of the volatile ions with the mass ratio charge ranged at 16 to 242. And this is a 3D TG mass curve and the major identified compounds. And also the TIC curve, we can see from here, also with a maximum at 434 degrees centigrade. Specifically, we can conclude that below 200 degrees centigrade, we only detect 4 gases. And at between 410 to 433, most compounds reach maximum due to the timely pyrolysis of lignin and the previous degradation of hemicellulose and cellulose. And later, the most compounds reach the plateau at 620 to 680, with temperature increase higher than 700 degrees centigrade. The amounts and the varieties of the polyaromatic hydrocarbons increased due to the side chain decarbonylation and decarboxylation occur at a high temperature. After that, we can analyze the functional groups with the evolution in the char matrix. From the figure, we present the variation in the peak area and the variation of the integral areas of the fine functional groups. Firstly, we can see from the figure that the aliphatic carbon hydrogen groups were mainly consisted of the CH and CH2 of carbon-6 bonded methylene in glucan pyrolysis ring of cellulose and CH and hemicellulose structure and the lignin side chain. And also the hydroxyl carbonyl and the CO bonds changed before the aromatic carbon skeleton. And also with the decrease in the peak area of the fused aromatics at 1,514 wave number during 210 to 500 degrees centigrade, it means that the benzene were reconstructed and polycondensed into the complicated fused structures. For the carbonyl groups, we can see there's an increase in the 13 to 260 degrees centigrade. It means the dehydration of hydrolysis and degradation of glucose pyrolysis ring in cellulose and quinoidinol tautomerization. A further decrease suggests that the decarbonylation of fragments during aromatization and the auto condensation of carbonyl produce the macromolecular biochar matrix. Then the decrease in the total CO suggests the cleavage of the glucosidic bonds in and pyrene ring opening, and also the fragmentation occur. The rapid decrease in the CO group at 1,030 and 1,110 wave numbers means that aliphatic COC and COH were weaker than other CO groups. Overall, the hydroxyl carbonyl and CO groups eliminated at 500 degrees centigrade. Most oxygen-containing functional groups were fractionated into the liquids, including aldehydes and the ketones. Also, the biochar is formed during the process. After that, we also need to fit the variations of the functional groups. So we divided it into different stages. As we can see, for the functional groups, they all have different behaviors. It means that they possess the different pyrolysis mechanisms. So based on this, to further identify the thermochemical for the functional groups in the char matrix, we use the Cox-Redfern method to identify the kinetic parameters involves activation energy E, pre-exponential factor A, and also the mechanism models of each functional groups. Particularly, aromatics is not included in this because it's unable to confirm its final amount. We can see the data from table 1 that hydroxyl group possessed small e and F values. It means the dehydration is beneficial to biomass dehydration. A CO group at 300 to 500 degrees centigrade possess the high E and F values. It means the complicated degradation reactions occurs for these functional groups at the temperature section. And also for the mechanism models at 20 to 380 degrees centigrade, it is mainly the diffusion model. It means that the process can be influenced by heat and gas mass transfer from biomass particles. With the temperature increase, all the bad chemical reaction and diffusion were appeared for the whole process. It's due to the lignin degradation and also the charring reactions. With the above mentioned results, we have the main findings. That firstly, the TG-FTR mass spectra indicated that concentration of the volatiles was in the decreasing sequence. And also the volatiles reached the maximum at approximately 410 to 433 degrees centigrade. And then the multi-stage pyrolysis kinetics of the main functional group in the chart matrix during peanut shell pyrolysis at 20 to 500 degrees centigrade was revealed for the first time. And the pyrolysis mechanisms models for the functional groups in the chart matrix were the combination of diffusion model and the secondary or third order chemical reaction model. For the research work, I want to make a special thanks to my PhD supervisor and current leader, Professor Gui Jianliu, my collaborator, Dr. Bla Yusuf, and Dr. Zhiyuan Liu, and all my group fellows, and also thanks for the invitation from the conference organizer. And the research is supported by the National Natural Science Foundation of China. And that's my presentation for today. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Dr. Jelu. So questions and answer session will be at the end. So without delay, I would like to request Professor Dr. Bilal Yusuf for his keynote talk. He will be discussing about transforming plastic pollution into climate positive solutions, the upcycling way.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, thank you so much, worthy Vice Chancellor and the organizing committee of this conference. I'm really honored and in the same time, a little confused to speak in front of my mentor and teacher from UF and USTC. But I will try to express my thoughts about this topic. Well, as we know, in the recent time, everyone use plastic in their life. And these plastics are extremely beneficial in various, part of life. Well, we are using plastic in multiple, in our life, in a multiple groups like in healthcare product, food, technology, construction, food safety, and various other fields due to their versatility and their diverse nature. And the various part of the world, they are contributing in the plastic pollution in a various manner. For example, in the case of Asia, the contribution is approximately 50%. And in America, both in North and South America, the contribution is approximately 20%, and the 20% is from Europe. So the most of the plastic we produce is actually contributing in the waste stream. For example, here we can see the black line. This is the production of the plastic at a global scale. And here, this red line is defining the overall plastic amount in entering into the waste stream. So we can see that a very little amount of plastic is recycled or the reprocessed, and the most of the plastic is going to the environment in various channels. And if we will compare the plastic with the other organic materials, so the 88% hard plastic and 87% soft plastic is entering into the waste stream as compared to the other waste products. So here, this is the current global scenario of the plastic waste management. For example, if we will see here, most of the produced plastic is going to be landfill and entering into the directly or indirectly in the environmental system whenever a very little amount is converted into energy, and approximately the 9% of the plastic waste is basically recycled, especially in a sustainable manner. So in future, what we can do to reduce the overall impact of plastic waste on the environment and our lives? So definitely the most sustainable approach is the reduce the use of plastic, and definitely reuse and recycle these plastic. But definitely this is a long story. So in the current situation, we have multiple options to recycle the plastic by using the landfill, microbial decomposition, incineration technology, as well as plastic mechanical pulverization and modification. But all these technologies has their own drawbacks. For example, if we will talk about the biological process, no doubt it's a very sustainable process, but it's very slow. So how much plastic we are generating is not possible to recycle or degrade by using the microbial approach. So that's why this more sustainable or more better option we try to discuss here is a thermal conversion. Normally, we use temperature, just like our friend Liu Regia talk about the pyrolysis process. So here, basically, we are also proposing the same process, but in a slightly different way. Normally, we are using plastic and biomass separately in the pyrolysis system to produce bio-oil, biogas, and the environmental material. But a very few studies has defined the overall impact of co-pyrolysis of plastic with biomass to get more desirable or more beneficial compounds. So here, there is a difference between the plastic and the biomass pyrolysis system. Here, we can see the most of the plastic compounds, they are actually uniform compounds. When we talk about the biomass, biomass has a very diversified chemical composition, including hemicellulose, cellulose, and lignin. And definitely, by using that diversified system in the pyrolysis, we cannot generate a uniform structure of our material. So here, the main theme behind this whole process is we are using more uniform structure from the plastic waste and embed that particles or the molecular structure on our biomass material to produce more desirable and more efficient functional group for further adsorption or the other removal of the contaminant in our system. Although we have conducted various studies about the co-pyrolysis of plastic waste with the biomass, but here I will present one study in which we use rice husk as a feedstock, and we use that rice husk to produce the biomass with and without the presence of plastic waste. So we use basically two different temperature, 500 and 700 degrees Celsius in the co-pyrolysis system. And in this experiment, we use the ciprofloxacin as a test pollutant. So after the preparation of our material, here we can see the overall carbon content in the co-pyrolyzed rice husk biomass and the plastic it has a high carbon content, like 63.55% as compared to the other conditions. So in the optimization process, the rice husk co-pyrolyzed biochar with the plastic is a more carbon containing compound as compared to the other one. So when we will talk about the morphology, we try to get some images from the HCM EDS elemental mapping just to find out whether the distribution of the various elements like carbon and nitrogen and the silicon in the surface of our material, whether they are distributed equally in our material or not. So we found that in our material, all these elements were equally or uniformly distributed on the surface of our material. So here you can see in this same material produced at a 500 degrees Celsius with the rice husk and plastic co-pyrolyzed, it's 292 meters square per gram, which has the highest surface area as compared to the other one. And there was two major changes in the functional group identified through the FTIR spectroscopy. One is the carbon-to-carbon double bond, and other is the hydroxyl functional group on the surface of our material. And to find out the stability of our material, we use the TGA, and we found that the co-pyrolyzed biomass with plastic is basically more stable as compared to the simple biomass. And the Raman spectroscopy also indicate the stability of our material. And here the D and G band, basically they are indicating if the G band is higher than the D band, then it is showing more stable structure as compared to the other one. And also in these two plastic co-pyrolyzed peak, we have an additional 2D peak, which is basically indication of the existing of the graphitic structure of the carbon in our material. So we use this material for the remediation of ciprofloxacin, and we found that this material is extremely efficient from slightly acidic to the neutral pH, and its retention time with the at the very initial retention time, the adsorption capacity was extremely high, and approximately 80% material was absorbed within first 1 to 2 minutes. And according to the adsorption kinetic, we found that this whole adsorption kinetic follow the second pseudo first order, which is the indication of the chemisorption of our pollutant in the surface of our material. So it means that the most of the functional group existed on the surface of our material were basically responsible for the removal of the antibiotic in our material. So by using the adsorption isotherm models, we found that the maximum capacity, removal capacity of our material was approximately 160 milligram per gram, which is quite higher as compared to the other materials, especially when we are talking about the antibiotics. So collectively, we found that there are multiple mechanisms basically were involved in the removal of the antibiotic in our material, including hydrogen bonding and pore filling, and also the electrostatic interaction due to the existence of hydroxyl functional group on the surface of our material. So it means the removal was not only the physical removal, it was also the chemical and electrostatic interactions were also existing in our material, especially on the surface of the co-pyrolyzed biochar with plastic. And it was confirmed from the FTIR analysis before and after the use of our material. And here the carbon peak here in this location was basically the indication that the ciprofloxacin was embedded on the surface of our material, which confirmed the removal of the ciprofloxacin from the water system to our material. So conclusively, we can say that we optimize the condition, and the most appropriate condition here in this scenario was the 500 degrees Celsius temperature with the co-pyrolysis of biomass and plastic to generate more efficient biochar for ciprofloxacin removal. And secondly, the 500 degrees Celsius biochar co-pyrolyzed with plastic has a high surface area as compared to the other one, and it has the highest removal efficiency, especially at the 6 pH, but from slightly acidic to the neutral pH. And additionally, the experimental data also exhibit that the removal mechanisms follow the second pseudo order, which is also indicator of the chemical or the chemosorption of the pesticide antibiotics on the surface of our materials. And it was approximately 160 milligram per gram of the removal capacity, which is quite higher. So these are some of our publications in recent years. If someone would be interested, and he or she can read, and it has more detail about this process, because within 10 to 15 minutes, it's not possible to explain each and everything in the presentation. So if someone has any question, he or she can ask me after the conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Bilal Yusuf. So that was definitely a very insightful presentation about addressing the plastic pollution, which is one of the major issues as we face here locally in Pakistan as well as internationally. So for the next keynote talk, I would request Mr. Milad Hussain, Senior Manager, Organic Cotton from WWF, who will be discussing about the environmental impacts of sustainable cotton production.
Assalamu alaikum. To all who are present in hall or connected through any other link. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Milad Hussain and representing WWF Pakistan. WWF Pakistan is world's largest conservation organization, established in 1961. WWF Pakistan started its global nature conservation agenda in 1971. WWF Pakistan believes in collaboration and is working with the government institutes, bodies, civil societies, and corporate sector. Currently, WWF Pakistan have active 61 projects and 35 offices in from Gilgit to coastal areas. These are the major core practices of WWF Pakistan that are freshwater, forest, food and market, wildlife, ocean, and climate and energies. WWF Pakistan established is different forestation campaigns like Rangbo Pakistan, and also was the part of 1 billion tree tsunami. WWF Pakistan conserving the wildlife like snow leopard, markhor, ibex, Indus dolphin, etc. Food and market. All agriculture related projects comes under food and market umbrella. Food and market started in 2014. Very few farmers build the capacity on IPM. Now WWF Pakistan's food and market program have more than 1,000 staff, field staff, and 16 field offices and 250,000 of farmers. WWF Pakistan's world's first bale produced under the food and market umbrella platform. And we are the pioneer in the pressing the certified organic bale in 18-19 cropping year. And we are also pioneer in regen cotton. If we look at the working areas in Pakistan, we are present in 12 districts of Pakistan in 3 provinces. We are working in Khanewal, Multan, Lodram, Bawalpur, Muzaffargarh, Ghotki, Sakhar, Khairpur. In Balochistan, we are present Barkhan, Kolu, Buzdar, and Laspela districts. These are the major work streams of WWF Pakistan. We are working in better cotton initiatives. We are working in organic cotton cultivation, agroforestry biodiversity conservation, and regenerative production, landscape collaborative Pakistan for regen agriculture. We are working in climate smart crop production system. We are also working in livelihood improvement. These are the figures of sustainable produce. If we look at the slide, we have 148 hundreds of thousand farmers having 639 hundreds of acres, and they produce annually more or less 87 thousands of metric tons of lint under sustainable cotton production system. And we also certified organic cotton. We have around 3,000 farmers having their acreages around 27,000 acres, and certified produce is around 7,000 metric tons. No doubt, sustainable practices have pertinent impacts on climate and environments. These results are calculated through different research institutes, outsourced consultancies, and in-house expertise. The major impact indicators are higher income, water usage, and GHG emissions. Under sustainable or better cotton projects, we can see 32% of income increased of the farmers, 14% of less use of water and GHG emissions. Under climate smart production system projects, 27% of income increase, 24% and 23% accordingly, water usage, less use of water and GHG emissions. If you look in organic cotton projects, we can see the farmers are earning more income of 70% as compared to control farmer, comparison farmer, 15% less use of water, and 28% less use of GHG emissions. These sources are from KPMG's study in Balochistan. Thank you. Together possible.